The world's a dangerous place. Get the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. A laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way.
This week on Gun Talk, we're talking with Crossbreed Holsters about a variety of new holster options for revolvers and taking your questions, comments, and range reports. Call now to be on the show at 1-866-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom Gresham.
How you definitely going to want you want to put on a seatbelt for today because it's going to be all over the place. We have so much news for you, a lot of things going on. Hey, oh, by the way, I'm Tom Gresham. This show is Gun Talk, where we talk about guns, shooting, firearms ownership, safety, and responsibility. We'll talk about the gun rights, the news of the day. We'll talk about the guns that you like. You might even talk about the guns that you hate. You ever had a gun that you just hated? I've had guns that there was nothing wrong with them, but for whatever reason, I just didn't like it. I mean, if that makes sense, it shot fine, everything's good. I'm just going, I just don't like this gun. What do you do when you get a gun that you just don't like? Because I know some people will say, well, I never sell a gun. Well, okay, but what do you do if you have a gun that you just don't like? I can tell you what I do. I let somebody else enjoy it. But having said that, I'd love to get your take on that. Also looking, of course, always your range reports, trying to find out what you've been shooting, what's going on out there, what do you like, what do you hate, what's working for you, and, of course, any stories that you have about your interactions with gun companies. We have some coming up. Actually, we'll be sharing those on the after show. We had some real good interactions with holster makers, matter of fact, and we'll be talking holsters today. We're also going to have, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this in just a minute, but later on in the show, we're going to have Shaneen Allen's attorney with us. Shaneen Allen, of course, is the mother she's from Pennsylvania. She had a concealed carry permit there because she had been robbed a couple of times. She drove into New Jersey, traffic stop. She didn't know that you could say she should have known, yeah, fine. But she didn't know that her permit wasn't good in New Jersey. She dutifully informed the officer, as she was told to do, I have a permit and I have a firearm. And she got arrested, put in jail for 40 days, finally got out, been charged with multiple felonies, actually, and looking at 3.5 to 10 years in prison. We've been working on that. We'll have big news about that because there's been a change, and you, my friends, are responsible for the change. So we'll have some of that news as we go forward, and Evan, of course, will be able to give us more information about that. If you'd like to join us here on the air, it's 866-TALK-GUN, 866-TALK-GUN. Everybody's getting ready for hunting seasons. In fact, your hunting seasons may be underway already where you live. We were out at we just joined a new deer hunting lease here in Louisiana. Went out for a meeting yesterday. Kind of getting the lay of the land, looking at stands, figured out where we're going to put some tree stands, some tripod stands, and put out trail cameras. And there's a lot involved. There's a lot of stuff. Put out feeders, figuring out, when, where, all the rest of it. But it's all part of the fun. It's the anticipation, the getting ready, it's pregame. It's tailgating in a sense. It's all the stuff you do. Because you don't really hunt that often or for that many days or that many hours, but you do, in fact, get out there and spend a few hours out there. So you expand that time. You add to it by doing all the pre-season stuff. And if you're a gunny, as I am, you spend a lot of time, I would call it researching. My wife would call it obsessing. That's okay. She's used to it by now. About the guns and the loads and the rifle and the scope, the optics, the mount, and down to the sling. What am I going to use scope covers? Going to go with a wood stock? Going to go with a synthetic stock? In talking to the guys out at the shooting range, or the hunting club, they said, look, whenever it's bad rain, bad weather, nasty weather, you want to be on your stand because that's when the bucks are moving. At which point I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to take a really nice wood-stocked rifle out there. So we're probably thinking either synthetic or laminate. Thinking about the Ruger Scout rifle. Little short, bolt-action 308. By the way, they just brought out the Scout rifle in 223, if you have an interest there. Thinking about that, thinking about maybe a synthetic stock rifle. Hadn't quite decided. On the caliber, as much as I would love to just obsess about that, I know in my heart of hearts the truth that we all really know, but we can't possibly admit to each other, and certainly not to our spouses, is that it just doesn't matter, really. If you're hunting white-tailed deer, I mean, anything from a 223 on up is perfectly adequate, as long as you do your part, of course. Now, there is a point at which recoil becomes too much for some people to shoot well. And if you don't shoot it well, you won't hit where you're aiming. That means basically you're going to flinch, yank the sights off the target just as you pull the trigger. And you'd be better off, frankly, going to a less powerful cartridge. If a 300 Magnum makes you flinch, if you can't shoot all your shots into 2 or 3 inches at 100 yards with a 300 Magnum, then you need to back off until you get to a caliber where you can shoot all your shots into 2 or 3 inches at 100 yards. And if that means going down to a 270, not a problem. If it means dropping down to a 25-06, go for it. If it means a 243, don't sweat it. Get down to a recoil level that you can operate reliably that doesn't bother you. So what are you doing at the range? What's been going on? Let's go to line 3. Jeff's with us out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's got a range report for us. Jeff, what'd you take out there?
Hi, I took out a Glock 30, the Gen 4. It's a little more aggressive grip, which is perfect.
So why did you get why a Glock 30, first of all? Let's back up and start from the very beginning. Is this your first Glock?
Yes, it is. I've shot other Glocks before, but the older models were so blocky, and I didn't feel that with this one.
Well, no, it's they're trimmer. You got this is the, for those who don't know, the Glock 30 is the subcompact 45, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is going to be your carry gun?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so how did it shoot for you?
Oh, it shoots perfect. I shoot that. In fact, I shoot it better than my 1911.
Oh, heresy. Oh, my God. I can't believe you've even said that out loud. How dare you?
Also, I talked to you a few weeks ago about rust on my Taurus Slim that I carry.
Right.
And I had bought the Brownell's rust preventative, and that works great. And I have to do it about once a week. And so right away I started using it on the Glock, just in case. Because Glock's supposed to hold up to salt water, but I don't want to take any chances.
You know what? Here's what I've found, is that everything rusts. Everything metal eventually rusts. And stainless steel will rust. It's not stainless, it's stain resistant. It's not rust proof, it's rust resistant. And if you're carrying, and you're in North Carolina, I'm down in Louisiana, we're in hot, sweaty, steamy country, and you start getting sweat over it. And if you don't clean that gun and wipe it down at least once a week, you're going to end up with rust, at least on a few places. It might be on the mag release button. It might be, a screw. It might be the sight or sight base. You never know where it's going to happen, but if you're not taking care of it on a weekly basis, you're going to get that. Yes,
it's the mag release button and the slide are very important.
Yeah, you'd like for those to work.
That's right. That's right.
So the other thing is, see if you agree with me on this. I have this thing. I like the act of cleaning a gun. I like taking it apart and doing a nice cleaning job on it. It's like, this is going to sound weird to anybody who's not into guns. I get to spend a little bit more time with my gun that way. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. In fact, I'm kind of fanatical about it, too. So I see where you're coming from.
Okay, well, I mean, that's kind of where I go. Well, look, I appreciate it. The Glock 30, you're happy with it. That's now your carry gun, I take it.
That is.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate the report. Hey, Austin's on line 2, calling out of California. Hello, Austin.
Hey, Tom. Thank you for having me on.
You bet. How can we help you today?
Yeah, I was wondering if you heard of a 1911 brand called Rock Island Armory.
Oh, sure. They're out of Geneseo, Illinois, if I remember right.
I think they're made in the Philippines, I think.
Yeah, but the actual company, the U.S. part of it, I think they're out of Geneseo. How can I help you with that?
Well, I'm actually looking to buy my first handgun, and I have some experience with 1911s, but I don't really want to spend $1,000 since I'm on a college budget.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering if you've heard anything wrong about this brand.
No, I have not. I think it's... there's a brand at every price point. I mean, wherever you start out. And Rock Island represents, to my mind, a pretty good value at that price point. Let me ask you, how much are you thinking of spending?
$500 to $600 or so dollars. I've been saving all year. I've been holding on to pennies.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, I really can't spend more than that, though, since I got to buy books and stuff.
Okay, now you're in California, right?
Yes.
And you can get the Rock Island, you can get the 1911 there, is that correct?
Yeah, it's California legal for the, yes, it is.
Okay, it's California legal. A good point. Somebody just pointed out here, Michael saying, make sure you budget for spare mags. You need at least 4 magazines, and buy good quality magazines. Don't buy junk, okay? But when you buy them a gun, get yourself several magazines, because magazines go down. Stuff happens. So, get you some good mags.
Okay. Would original GI mags be good?
Would not. I mean, good is one. I wouldn't be happy with them. I like aftermarket mags. I particularly like putting little rubber butt pads on the bottom of mags. It helps with the insertion. It helps when you're dropping them, if you have to drop on the ground, if you're doing training, that kind of a thing. Nothing wrong with them. And look, here's the main thing. Get what you can get, but try to buy good mags. Now, let me throw out, there's one other thought I wanted to throw out before we get off the phone here with you. Don't overlook used. Used guns often represent a great value because people generally don't wear out guns. So sometimes if you say, but I can afford this in new, but I'd really like X, whatever that X happens to be, in brand, check around and see if it's available used. You might surprise yourself at what you can find.
Yeah, I actually looked around, but the California used market is kind of saturated.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, look, I wish you luck with it, and nothing in the world wrong with Rock Island Armory. Another company that makes 1911s. There's a gazillion out there. Do a little shopping around, find the one you want, and as I always say, remember, whatever you buy, it's going to last a long time, so make sure you're getting the one that you want. All right, 866-TALK-GUN. We are open lines. Range reports, interactions with gun companies, getting ready for hunting season. What are you going to be carrying when you head to the woods? I'd love to get your take. Anything from a lever action 30-30 to the latest big, loud, and boomer. 866-TALK-GUN.
Weather can affect your shot. Extreme cold, extreme hot, no matter what, Australian Outback Ammo has you covered. Ammunition loaded to shoot the same spot every time. And now Australian Outback offers 300 blackout with loads from a 125 grain bullet to a 220 grain subsonic load. Check it out at outbackammo.com.au. outbackammo.com.au.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
Springfield Armory presents the Gear Up promotion. Until October 31st, customers who purchase any new Springfield Armory pistol can sign up to receive 3 additional magazines and a free double bag pouch by visiting gearup.springfield-armory.com. That's a value of up to $135. XDs, XDMs, the XDS, and all 1911s. To learn about all the Springfield Armory firearms, go to springfield-armory.com.
In my world, there are no helpless victims. There is no weaker sex. In my world, pain comes from fear, and fear is not an option. But my world is just like yours. Only difference, how I choose to defend myself.
Introducing the Carry On series from Taurus, the ultimate collection of concealed carry firearms designed for discreet, reliable personal protection. Visit TaurusUSA.com to learn more.
Carry On.
In the dark about which firearm is best for self and family defense? Call Tom now for great suggestions for your purchase and a lifetime of insight regarding the safe handling, operating, and storage of your new addition. Now, once again, Tom Gresham.
All right, back with you. Just got a range report via email from Jack, J-A-K. He says he bought an UpLula magazine loading device for his new CZ75B Omega. Made a range trip past week for some break-in shooting. Says his arthritic thumbs were not a problem. The UpLula works great. At 20 yards off a rest, this semi-auto centerfire handgun is easily the most accurate I've owned. I will need to drift the windage adjustment a tad, but we'll wait until they build a device for that. We'll see. Says he's comfortable with the single-action trigger pull, and the DA, double action, is livable. Interesting. Said he wishes the firing pin crater was more impressive. He'd like a stronger bash. So far, he's had no failures to fire. I'm not understanding, quite frankly, here, Jack. If everything's going off, why do you want to hit the primer any harder than it is? Just to get like a more impressive dent? I'm lost there. I don't understand why that would be important, but there you go. All right, 866-TALK-GUN, 866-825-5486. Lots of numbers. For those of us who are number challenged and like words better, just dial 1 and then Tom Talk Gun. Line 1, Scott's in Mandeville, Louisiana. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm good. What you looking for?
I have a 14-year-old son that has shown a great interest in hunting now. And I'm not a hunter. Okay. So he's got an opportunity to go with one of his uncles this year. And I'm looking for a recommendation as far as what caliber I could maybe start him out with. He's shot a 20 gauge, and he's comfortable with the kick of a 20, but not a 12.
Okay.
So I'm looking for something kind of low recoil that won't scare him away.
What's he going to be hunting?
Deer.
Deer, okay. Does he
and I can't imagine... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I can't imagine him taking a shot any longer than maybe 150 yards.
Right. All right. I'm going to throw out 2 thoughts here, I guess. One is, does he have or has he shot a .22 rifle much?
Yes. Last time we went to Honey Island Range, he blew through a brick of .22 in no time.
Okay, I mean, because he needs to be, he needs a lot of trigger time. Basically, is what he needs, even if it's an air gun or something. But he needs a lot of trigger time. That's where a .22 comes in handy. Having said that, I'm going to skip forward to Now, are you wanting to buy him a deer rifle? That's where we're going with this?
Maybe eventually. For this season, he's going to probably use something that his uncle has, which his uncle has a 30-30 and a 308, and we're not quite sure about either one of them yet, but we're going to take him out to the range probably next weekend and let him try those.
Okay. There's no reason that a 14-year-old can't shoot a 308. The key there is if the gun fits him. And how tall is he? Is he kind of a big boy, small boy?
He's kind of tall, maybe about 5.5 feet right now. I guess it's kind of tall for a 14-year-old, but he's probably 120 pounds, 130 pounds.
Yeah, he should be able to handle a 308. If it were me, if I were making a suggestion, I would get him a 243, just because I think almost all whitetail hunters ought to have a 243 because they'll do a better job with it, frankly, because there's so very little recoil. But a 308 works if you're just going to borrow something. But the really important thing is to get him to the range and let him shoot that gun, not just a little bit, but several times so it feels like it's second nature to him.
Right.
Just real easy. I would sure, if you think he's going to, sounds like he's kind of getting into hunting and he would like to do it. Does he have a birthday or anything coming up where you could surprise him with a gun or something?
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again?
Does he have a birthday or anything coming up where you might be able to surprise him? Because, man, I would really look toward getting him a 243 and getting him rigged up. I think he would love that.
Yeah, well, his birthday passed in August. That's when he got the 20 gauge. And,
okay.
we always have Christmas coming around the corner, so.
There you go. Well, tell you what, get him on that 308, get him out to the range 2 or 3 times, let him shoot 10, 15, maybe 20 rounds each time. Let him shoot off the bench for a few times, but then get him off the bench and have him shooting from standing up position or from leaning against a pole or leaning against a tree, because that's probably how it's going to be. He's not going to be sitting, But also, if you're sitting at a bench, you feel the recoil more. When you stand up, you don't feel the recoil nearly as much. So that's what I would do. I would go, of the two, I would probably go with the 308. The 30-30 will work, but I kind of like the 308 better. 866-TALK-GUN. What would be your recommendation for a 14-year-old for a first deer rifle?
Have you taken your family, friends, and kids shooting lately?
You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, and we'll be right back. Want to be a guest on the show? Drop us a line at info@guntalk.com. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, welcome back to Gun Talk, 866-TALK-GUN. You can shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. A lot of ways to get a hold of us. Obviously, you need the Gun Talk app. It is for your iPhone or Android phone, your smartphone. I don't know that we have it for an old-fashioned bag phone or a flip phone, but you know what? If you have those, you're not looking for an app, are you? All right. Let's see here. Some news broke on Friday, 2 days ago. Let me back up. The Shaneen Allen case. Shaneen Allen is the lady out of Pennsylvania who got arrested in New Jersey for having a carry permit and a pistol. Her carry permit isn't good in New Jersey. The district attorney there, the prosecutor, has the option to put first-time offenders into, they call it pretrial intervention, which means we're not going to even take you to trial. We understand this is not a big deal. A mistake was made. We're just going to do an intervention here, and you're going to, have to do community service or something. This same prosecutor, the same one, is the one who gave pretrial intervention to Ray Rice after he cold-cocked his wife-to-be, knocked her unconscious, and drug her unconscious body out of the elevator. Same guy. Lets Ray Rice walk for a potentially deadly assault, certainly a felonious assault. But Shaneen Allen, who clearly just made a mistake, volunteered the information to the officer. Officer, I'm supposed to let you know I've got a permit and I've got my gun. And of course, didn't understand that her permit wasn't good there. no intention to hurt anybody. Quite the opposite. This same prosecutor says, nope, sorry, you're going to go to prison for a long time because you didn't have the right piece of paper in your purse. You didn't have a New Jersey piece of paper. You had a Pennsylvania piece of paper. If you had the New Jersey piece of paper, you'd be good to go. So for not having the right issued piece of paper, and make no mistake, that's what it's all about. For not having the right piece of paper, this prosecutor wants her to go to jail for a minimum of 3.5 years and maybe as much as 10 years. So we got on board, didn't we? You and I, a lot of us. We came up with ideas, working with Frank Fiamingo and the New Jersey Second Amendment Society and the Second Amendment Foundation, Alan Gottlieb. I came up with this idea of these billboards, and they go up tomorrow, by the way. The billboard's going to call attention to this whole thing. And we've been talking it up, and the Second Amendment Society of New Jersey, they have been lining the streets, literally. When Chris Christie had a fundraiser on Wednesday, they were lining the streets. They've been handing out fully informed jury booklets, pamphlets in front of the courthouse. Fox News is on it, but also the New York Times is on it, and the Washington Post is on it. And people on all sides of the gun issue are saying, this is just wrong. This is just wrong that this woman who clearly doesn't intend anybody any harm is facing years in prison, to which we're saying, yes, that's what we've been saying about these stupid gun control laws. They punish the innocent. And all of a sudden they had a face to it. It wasn't a gray-haired white dude. It was a young mother of two who's African American. Not what they thought they would catch with this law they passed. And so they're struggling. So what's happened? On Friday, the prosecutor sends a letter to Evan Knappen, the attorney, Shaneen Allen's attorney, and says, we're going to postpone the trial because we're reconsidering our options. Whatever could that mean? The prosecutor is reconsidering his options. Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means that all of this attention that we have brought to it, directly and through the media, has turned up the heat. And you know, I've said for years, when they feel the heat, they see the light. And all of a sudden, they're seeing the light. They're going, whoa, wait. People are actually going to notice if we put this hardworking mother of two in prison for years? She's already lost her job. She has no money. They've already done that to her. Which, by the way, we've got a little bit of excess money left over after we got the billboards, and we're giving that. I hope you guys are okay with this. We're going to give that to Shaneen Allen because she needs to pay some bills. Well, we're going to have more information on this at about hour and a half because her attorney, Evan Knappen's going to be joining us then. But this is potentially great news. I think it's going to be really good news. We are encouraged by it. I think it's going to play out well, but we have to keep the pressure up because pressure's all they understand. And there actually has been a bill introduced in the New Jersey legislature called Shaneen's Law. They're trying to undo the draconian, horrendous gun laws they have there. And very possibly one of the side benefits from this, once we get past helping Shaneen, could be that New Jersey gun owners, and there are 1 million gun owners in New Jersey, it could be that they wake up and say, you know what, maybe we're not a lost cause. Maybe we can do something. Maybe we are going to get back involved instead of just curling up and saying, why do you guys bother? You can't do anything here, because that's been the attitude. And I hear that all over the country. Oh, geez, there's nothing we can do. I don't want to get involved. But when you get a big win, you realize, hey, we can do things. That's what the Truth Squad is all about. 866-TALK-GUN. You can also shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk.
The Blue Wings are on the move. The grand passage has begun. Brush your blinds. Grab your gun. Let's go kill some ducks, boys. Mossberg, built rugged, proudly American.
You bet your life on your defense ammo. Get the proven performance of Nosler bullets in the new Nosler Defense Ammunition, featuring the same technology as the famous AccuBond line. Polymer tip or hollow point, bonded performance handgun bullets for weight retention and barrier penetration. Available only in Nosler Defense Ammunition in 9mm, 40, and 45 caliber. Also available in 223 with a 64-grain bullet. Visit Nosler.com.
Tired of paying for one concealed carry holster after another that's flimsy, hard to hide, or just plain uncomfortable? Alien Gear holsters feature a super stealthy and ultra comfortable design. Our professional quality holsters are backed by an ironclad triple guarantee, including a free 30-day test drive, free shell trades for life, and a forever warranty. Starting at just $29.88, you won't find a better quality or better price holster on the planet. Any planet. Go to aliengearholsters.com to get yours now.
Looking for shooting instruction but don't know where to go? Well, we have it, and you can access hours of training and safety videos, which you can watch on your home computer. On GunTalkTV.com, we have top competitive shooters, the best in self-defense trainers, and folks who have hunted all over the world, helping you learn which gun to buy, how to use it, how to store it safely, and everything else you need to be a safe and competent shooter. We also have gun makers showing off their newest rifles, shotguns, and handguns. Doesn't matter if you're a veteran shooter or a complete beginner, you'll find what you need at GunTalkTV.com. You can check it out for free, and you can get full access for only $5.95 a month. That gives you unlimited access to hundreds of videos, and we're adding more all the time. Run the videos over and over to make sure you understand what's being said. Skip around. You're in control. Get smarter. Shoot better. Visit GunTalkTV.com.
The Blue Wings are on the move. The grand passage has begun. Brush your blinds. Grab your gun. Let's go kill some ducks, boys. Mossberg, built rugged, proudly American.
Take Gun Talk with you wherever you go. Now streaming through Stitcher, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, and the Gun Talk app, available for your Android or iPhone. Just search Gun Talk in the App Store. Now back to Gun Talk.
All right, and we are back. Line 3, Jackson Sparks in Nevada. He's got a range report for us. Hey, Jack, tell me about the Rock Island.
Hey, Tom. Hey, great work on that case in New Jersey, too, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hey, look, Tom, I've been meaning to call you about this and pass it on to you, but that caller on the Rock Island urged me to do it.
Uh-huh.
Look, I got 3 of them. That company makes three firearms. They make a Citadel, that Rock Island, and they make one called the American Tactical.
Okay.
They're all 1911s. I have a couple of Kimbers. These shoot as good as my Kimber does. And if you get if he goes to the Citadel or the American Tactical, they upgrade them. The sights are upgraded. There's ambidextrous safeties, extended slide release. It's an excellent pistol. And the Citadel, if I'm not mistaken, it's an all steel frame, and you know, you're going to pay $1,000 for anything, at least in my experience, for an all-steel frame 1911. Mm-hmm. You can do these for $600, and he'll love them.
Let me ask you, how long have you had Rock Island pistols?
I've had them for over a year. In fact, I bought the last American Tactical, which is the same company. I bought that one last year.
Wow. Okay. Fabulous range report. So, you're a believer. This is not just a case of a guy that bought one of them and says, yeah, I got a gun and it works fine, I like it. You got 3 of them, and you've really got a pretty good test sample there.
I do, and like I said, that they're all made by that same company. I've got Colts and Kimbers and, I don't know, a variety of them. I love these pistols, and I hesitate on passing on information because there's always someone that's going to say, I have that and I hate it.
Right.
But you know what? For his information, if he's interested in it, he's going to enjoy it. They feed well. I haven't had any experience with their customer service, but as far as the firearm itself, I think he's going to like it. And you can get the all-steel frame. It's a good pistol. He's going to like it a lot.
Well, that's exactly what we're looking for. Jack, thank you so much. Now, that is a great range report. Thank you, sir. One of the things that's beautiful about 1911s is you can, in fact, buy one at $500 or $600, and you can buy one at $3,000. And people say, well, what's the difference? Well, there's a lot of differences. As you go up, you get more features. And he mentioned that these different models you add on more features. As you go up, you may get a little more hand fitting. As you go up, you may get better sights. Maybe the internals, the actual parts are from some of the key aftermarket people, the Chip McCormicks of the world, if you will, Wilson Combat. You basically you get what you pay for. But the thing is, and I guess I circle back around to this, man, we got a lot of good guns out there now. I mean, and there's just not much that's not good. Now, yeah, you get better and slicker as you pay more, but there's not much that's being sold that's not pretty darn good these days. Barry is in Carson City on 2. Hey, Barry, what you looking for?
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Hey, they used to make a screw-on type laser you could put on a Remington 870 on the end of the magazine tube. Do they still have those?
I believe they do. In fact, we had a question about that last week, and it was a company that I was not familiar with. Let me see if I can find that real quickly here. It looks like maybe FM Optics is one that's available. I see it listed at several different places. If you just do a search for FM Optics, FM laser sight for Remington 870, I think that's one of them. LaserMax also has basically, it doesn't go into the screw into the tube, but it connects to the shotgun, but it works on the 870s. Of course, there are a lot of different ways to get lasers on Remington 870s now, but that's the one that I popped up with. I don't have any experience with it, though. I can't vouch for it. Don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent, okay?
Yeah, right. They would also, they'd probably have the same thing for the FN shotgun, too. You think
possibly so? Well, the ones that attach, certainly. The ones that go into the magazine tube, because the 870 has sold so many models, that's probably the one that they're going to have the most aftermarket available for that. But something that you would simply attach to the magazine tube, that's going to be available for everything, and that gets you into a whole other world there. And then what I like is when you start putting a couple of rails of some sort on your shotgun. Now you can put things like the Crimson Trace Railmaster Pro, which gives you a light and a laser in one unit. Really like that idea because, frankly, I think you need a light first, laser second on a self-defense gun. So that's just my take on the thing. But, yeah, if you do a little poking around, but let me just offer this. Kudos for thinking about this. If you're using an 870 as a self-defense gun, number one, put some sights on it. Don't just use a bare barrel because you're shooting a self-defense shotgun as a rifle. The pattern is very, very small at bedroom or even living room distances. So you need sights. A laser helps tremendously. It's a great idea. And by all means, a light, because there's a pretty good chance you'll be in low-light situations. Why a light? Because you need to see the threat. You need to see the person's hands. Just because the person's in your house isn't a go signal for shooting. You need to see the hands. You need to see if it's a threat. You need to see if he or she's armed. You need to see what they're doing. You got to have a light. Pretty good idea to have it on your pistol, too, if you got your home defense pistol. Question for you. Do you have a light on your home defense gun? 866-TALK-GUN.
You don't have to agree with Tom to participate in the show. Call now with any of your concerns about guns, gun rights, or particular firearms, or suggestions for your shooting activity or personal protection. 1-866-825-5486. Gun Talk is coming right back.
All right, back with let's go straight to the phones. Lee is out of Kentucky on 4. Lee, what are you blaming me for?
Well, I'm blaming me too.
What happened?
You and I have changed the world, Tom.
How so?
Back when we were little kids, a concealed carry permit was a great big deal. Only real serious gun folks like us and folks who had a whole lot of political clout could get a concealed carry permit. And it's still that way in New York and other states, I'm sure. Nowadays, a concealed carry permit takes about as much trouble as a driver's license. And so Shaneen Allen could get a concealed carry permit easily, quickly, just like getting a driver's license. And reasonably thought that, hey, my driver's license works in New Jersey, my marriage license works in New Jersey, my business license works in New Jersey. How could it be that my concealed carry permit doesn't work in New Jersey?
It's an interesting, it's a reasonable thought process, is it not, to think, look, the state issued me a driver's license, and it's good in all the states. I have a carry permit. Why would it? It's issued by the state. It's got my picture on it, had a background. It was actually harder to get than a driver's license. Why would that not be good in all the states? That sounds reasonable to me.
Very reasonable idea. But you and I didn't change the world enough that it works that way.
Not yet.
Not yet. So we have been negligent in failing to make sure that every concealed carry course says, you take your gun across a state line, you may go to jail. We have been negligent in making sure that our friends, the dealers, don't tell people, take your gun across a state line, you may go to jail. And that's particularly important in the states which abut states like New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, Illinois, California, where it doesn't work.
I get your point, but let me ask you this. Do you think that concealed carry instructors are not telling people that they're not explaining that this permit is only good in states that honor yours and you need to check on that before you go across state lines?
Well, if they were, what do you think Shaneen Allen would have done?
I think some people, just because you teach it doesn't mean some people get it. And the other thing is, look, as we know, there's a bell curve in everything, as I always say, and that carries through to concealed carry instructors. You got the very good, you got the ones in the middle who are, the medium ones, and you got probably some that are not very good. I don't know what she got. And that kind of goes back to your point of, did somebody fail her in not telling her this? I don't know, but I am buying into your point, which is we should do an even better job, at least while we are getting total national reciprocity. We should do a better job at making sure that everybody understands that your permit is only good in your state, and it might be good in other states, but it's absolutely on you to know which states, and every time you drive across a state line, the laws change. And not just, is my permit good? And look, I thank you for the call, Lee. Not just, is my permit good in this state, but I might be able to carry in my state in a restaurant that serves alcohol. In another state, my permit may be good, but I may not be able to carry in a restaurant that serves alcohol in another state. So you not only have to know, is my permit good in this state? Do they have reciprocity? But what are the specific laws there? To find that out, go to handgunlaw.us. Again, handgunlaw, singular.us. And if you're looking at going to another state, check on their laws there. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking about concealed carry holsters. You need a good one.
No black helicopters here, just the facts about gun rights and gun ownership. This is Gun Talk.